Hello everyone, Paulo P13 here, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a fun one, and a bit of a different way of making this video than I was planning on it. I discovered a new Ultimus 7 team that works incredible. And no, it's not TechWing. I know a lot of people have just been saying use TechWing, use TechWing, use TechWing. And for me, in my experience, and from what I've seen, it just has a lot of RNG associated to it, and I'm not a huge fan of RNG. But I found my own team that I really like. I don't have a name for it, been working on it, and all the names I can come up with for it are horrible. So I'm just going to throw in a bunch of random names, and I'm going to ask for you guys in the comments to come up with a better name and let me know. Do that in the comments, join my Discord, let me know there. Come up with good names. Maybe there's something in it for you, if I can think of something about that. Anyways, I don't have a name for it. But I recorded my last 2 times through Ultimus 7, and then I did stupid things, trying to technology, and let's just say there's not much footage of that that's usable anymore, and it's kind of been lost. It wasn't technology issues, it was the person using the technology, so my bad. But I do have a new Ultimus 7 team for you, and I'm going to try and introduce it to you. And first off, I just want to say my experience with it. I've only used them twice, but both times I used them, I did 25 million damage with 0 heals. No healing charges, no healing cores. And when I finished, I could have gone into another node. So their pros, they survive like crazy. Their cons, they are slow. Very, very slow. But yeah, I'm very excited. So I'm going to try and do this video in a bit of a different way. I'm going to introduce you to my team, show you where they are now. They're a lot bigger than when I did my first run, and even when my second run, because I got excited and I thought how well they were doing and decided to build them up. I built them all up, actually, to make them as strong as possible, so this would be even easier. It's very repeatable. Again, my main issue with it is very slow. But now, right now, before that, I just want to say something generally. Ultimus 7, best advice I have is don't worry about killing the other nodes as much as surviving the other nodes. Right now, with how everything is, I don't see much that you can really do that's going to straight up do enough damage to take down the opposing team fast enough for you to really be able to survive and go forward. So what I did was I came up with a plan in a way to survive long enough that your damage will you will outlast them health wise, and your damage will be enough to take it down. The main con is I do time out quite a bit, and I have to be careful with my energy, and it does cap how far I can go, but it does give me a really high basement and make it very repeatable, as I don't have to use a lot of cores to survive and go through it. So I'm just going to come up with a bunch of dumb names on the spot, or some names that I've kind of come up with as I was going along. First off, now I'm introducing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is this team. It is completely an original name. Didn't steal it from anything. Why that? Because they are slow and steady, and they win races, like the tortoise and the hare, but they're very slow. But yeah, anyways, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. First name I'm coming up with for them. Not the best one. We'll keep looking for it. But anyways, first off, let's just go in order when I find them in my roster. The first character on this team, super essential, right here. Let's try that again. Right there. Yep. Okay. SHURI. My SHURI is now gear tier 13, 6675, level 75, 7 stars, 4 red stars. When I did this the first time, she was level 70, 6675 abilities, and gear tier like 11, 12. She was 6 stars and had 3 red stars. So she has had a massive, massive jump. But why is she so good? Well, let's just look at a couple of things real quick here. That health, 107,000. You don't really need to worry about the damage because it's basically no damage. She does very, very little damage, especially in Ultimus 7. The armor's nice. There's some other nice details here. She's also quite fast. But the point is she has about 110,000 health where I have her. That is her base health. And now let's take a look here at this passive. First off, I do have another thing to say about this passive, beyond what I'm going to say. On spawn, apply speed up to self and all Wakandan allies. In the team that I'm running her right now, she is the only Wakandan, but she does spawn with speed up, which means it always starts with Shuri going first. And that can make a massive difference with what I'm going to show you going forward. On turn, heal most injured ally for 10% max health. When charged, heal another one for another 10%. So that's really good healing. But I'm going to give a little math about the healing later. On defense up, generate ability energy for self. That's nice. With the team that I use, there's a lot of ability energy coming to Shuri, and that's quite important. But in raids, self and all Wakandan allies gain 40% max health. In raids, self and Wakandan allies gain 20% armor. And here's something I'm going to say. In raids, when self or any Wakandan ally drops below 50% max health, gain 3 deflect. The way that it's working, and it has been confirmed that it's going to continue to work this way, and they're eventually going to just change the text, no matter who drops below 50% health, whether they are Wakandan or not, they are gaining 3 deflect. So if Ultron drops below 50% health, 3 deflect. MINN-ERVA, 3 deflect. And that is huge. But the big thing that I really like, so that's important. The starting with speed up is really important. And also, what was I going to say? Oh, the big thing is that 40% max health. I'm just going to do some quick math here, and I will give you a new number. Okay, that 110,000 with that 40% max health boost becomes about 155,000. I'm actually overselling it a little. It's technically 154,000, and her health is 108,000. But point being, she gets a massive health boost. And so she heals everyone for 10%. That's just on her turn by heals everyone. She heals someone by 10% on her turn. And if she's 150,000 in raids, that's 15,000 right there. And then you have this beautiful ability right here. Heal for 500 health. Who cares? It's not a very helpful number. I'm not sure why that's even bothering to be there. But 15% of this character's max health. Okay, so 15. So I said 15,000 half of that too. So like 22,500 if my math is correct, which it probably is. 22,500 health, repeat 4 times. So 23,000 times 5 is the amount of healing that it goes, and it goes to the lowest health, and it just brings up the whole health of everyone really, really well. It's not as amazing as the MINN-ERVA Fear the Darkness heal, but it's pretty good. It's really, really good and can be massive in this, because 23,000 times 5, so that's almost, let's just say 25 times 5 just to make it easier. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125,000 total health just going around, which is almost like a full Shuri health. But ideally you're going to be using it on the other characters, and they're not all going to be at like 2 health when you use it. So it can bring a lot of characters almost back to full. And the bigger your Shuri, the more healing you're going to get. The heal block on the basic is basically useless because it's probably not going to stick. Mind you, it sticks a little more often than I would have thought. But anyways, she doesn't do damage, so don't worry about the basic. But this special here is also very important because it does 2 really, really important things. It gives defense up to everyone, and because she goes first, she often gives defense up to everyone right when the node starts. And if you're doing it right, she will always give defense up to everyone right when a battle starts with this team in Ultimus 7, which reduces all the damage coming in right away. And it also gives some random ability energy, which is great because ability energy helps all the moves that I find very important with this team to come and be around more often and just basically help keep the team healthy and getting all their abilities off. And she has really low cooldowns. That's my last fact about Shuri. But overall, Shuri is completely essential, and for my team at least, and definitely really a massive help on Ultimus 7. And that is why I use Shuri. Let's see what we have next. Okay, we have some chat about war. I should probably get to my war soon. Next, who do we have? Well, this is not a surprise, but we have Ultron. My Ultron is level 75, gear tier 13, 7 stars, no red stars. And yeah, he has 1 piece on the way to gear tier 14. One day he will be gear tier 14. Just a quick thing I'm checking for myself. His health at this point would be lower than Shuri's in the raid, but He is great. The main thing about him is you have to be careful and you have to plan out your abilities with him. You have to start every single node with this move here, his special, fully cooled down and ready to use. So if you aren't going to finish a node on time, you have to time it out when Ultron has his summon ready. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. You just need that summon. The way to do that is with this ultimate here. So try and plan that pretty well. My big thing is I try and make sure that he has a good amount of buffs, and then I just try and kill off characters whenever I can with it to extend the buffs and to get him to kind of to like a non-stopping ultimate state. Because if he has 7 positive effects on him, and then he ults, he's going to have his ult ready again the next turn, and if he kills, he extends those buffs, so you can just keep doing that all the time, and that's a really great state to be in. But it is hard on Ultimus 7 because he doesn't normally kill characters in one shot, even with his ultimate. But again, this is a very important move, and Ultron keeps your team going fast and going quick. He gets a lot of turn meter, he takes a lot of turns, and he does do some healing, which is very helpful. So he does help the team survive, and he gets some defense up. Yep, there's a lot of people asking for my help in war, which I will give them after this video. I've already done 11 attacks, but apparently my 12th will be very huge. But anyways, Ultron, don't really need to say much. I think everyone understood Ultron was going to be a part of this. Okay, so there we go. That's 2 characters, and those are my 2 strongest characters that are on this team. Unlike a lot of people, I don't use Phoenix. I use Phoenix for 1 node at one point, and she kills 1 character when I go through this. The next character I have, let's go here. We have Groot. Groot is level 70, gear tier 13, 7 stars, 3 red stars, 50,000 power overall, 6664 abilities. I don't really need to do much more. I use Groot for a couple of reasons. His defense up is great. His death proof is incredible, and it really goes well with Ultron because he can, when he gets a kill, he extends all the buffs on him, so we can end up with stacks of like 7 death proof by the end of a node, and that is very helpful. And his ultimate has a cleanse. Not a really good heal, but it can heal a little. But that cleanse is very nice. Groot is very helpful on this team. If I were to replace someone on it, I suppose it would be Groot, but I don't think I'm going to. So yeah, I think it's about time I come up with another name for this team. Let's go with GBK. Great Barrier Kreese. And why Barrier? Well, because the next character here we have Invisible Woman, a character who some members of my alliance like to say is just a war character, only can be used in Alliance War, because they didn't manage to get her first time around, and they don't want to be reminded that she can actually be pretty great. Honestly, when I first saw her, her kit bored me, and I wouldn't say she's a fun character to use, but she is a very good character. So mine is level 70, gear tier 13, 5 stars, 4 red stars, which is very nice. No gear pieces on the way to 14, 50,000 power, 6664 abilities. Now, let's just talk about why I use her. First off, let's go over her passive very quick. When she gets attacked based on this, she retaliates because it has to be a Fantastic Four ally, and there are no other Fantastic Four allies on this team, and she does gain max health, which is really nice. Eventually, if I down the road, I may upgrade her passive here just for the added max health, which is nice. But yeah, the added max health is very good. She already has a very high health, and she barriers herself with her basic, which is good. But now let's go to the main reason. This ultimate is huge. She can use a lot of orange ability materials, but I don't have many to give right now. But the ultimate, again, is another one that is very nice, because right now she barriers all allies for 30% of this character's health, and with the ultimate it's 40%, which another 10% is huge. But the barrier already does such a great job. She gives offense down to the opposing team. She only does 3 enemies right now. If I upgrade it, it will be all enemies. So that alone is just reduces the amount of damage coming in by a lot. This would be the biggest issue is it's on a high cooldown, and she's not the fastest character. So it can take a long time to get this ability ready to go again, but it can be very, very helpful. And again, like I said with Ultron Summon, and ideally with the Shuri special, you need this ultimate ready to go at the beginning of any node. And this is the main reason I use her. I'm going to go over her special really quick. This special, I don't like the way it works at all. Basically, what usually happens is she clears... The best thing is it does clear negative effects from 3 allies, which is nice. If I upgrade it, it's all allies, so the cleanse is very nice. The biggest thing is if you don't have it fully maxed, what happens is it puts stealth on... Clear stealth from all enemies. Let's see how this works. You apply stealth to 3 most injured allies, and then you remove the stealth from the highest health ally. So what usually ends up happening is she will stealth 2, maybe 3 people. I'm not really sure exactly how that works in the end, but I think it's 3 people will be in stealth, and 2 will not, and none of this. And it goes by percentage of health, I believe, not total health. So usually she will leave the Ultron summons out, or she will leave, if some summons are below max health, she will leave the main characters out, and the people she tends to leave out are Ultron and the character I'm going to talk about next, who you do not want to die. So this special kind of encourages the enemy to kill your people you don't want dead. Maybe if you fully max it, it can be good, but I only use this very sparingly, and the basic adds more barrier to Invisible Woman. I don't think in my entire time running this team she has ever dropped below max health. But again, if you upgrade her passive, she gets more health, and you upgrade her ultimate, she does more barrier from a higher health point, so that's really good. Invisible Woman is a very good team. Do I have any other names? I don't have any other names that I came up with. Well, actually, I have a couple from people in my alliance coming up with names to help, and the next one is ULTRON Girls, and I like it. I don't know why. It makes me think of a Billy Joel song, and I like Billy Joel. So that's another team name. Please help me find a good team name, in other words. Finally, we have MINN-ERVA. I don't think anyone's surprised here. Level 70 gear, tier 13, 6664 abilities, 5 stars, 3 red stars, 1 gear piece on the way to gear tier 14 because it was blue. I did not know that. None of her orange abilities are worth it. Why is she here? Because she heals really well and she revives, and her ultimate is great. If anything goes wrong, you can revive someone. So that's why you don't want her dead. And the death proof that GROOT gives can go to MINN-ERVA and Ultron. When Ultron kills someone, if MINN-ERVA has a death proof, she will then have 2 death proof because he extends for all villain tech allies. MINN-ERVA is villain tech. So those are the 5 characters I use: Shuri, GROOT, MINN-ERVA, Ultron, Invisible Woman. And they work really great, but they're very slow. Let me just check the time real quick here. 7:25. Okay, I gotta go. I'll show you some gameplay in a bit, which won't be in a bit for you, but I've got to go finish things off. And then I'm going to show you some gameplay when I come back and finish it. And I'm going to show you how this team works. I'll probably do some blitz. I'll find a raid node, but it's not going to be Ultimus 7. And I'm going to try and salvage some footage and just kind of show you how it works in Ultimus 7. Probably just the early node or something like that. But anyways, this team has been great for me. I'd highly recommend you trying this out. One of my favorite things about this team is all the characters are technically from different teams, but they're possibly the most essential part of all their teams, other than GROOT. GROOT's not. But MINN-ERVA is very essential on many teams. Ultron is the most essential on any team you put him on. Shuri is the most important part of Wakandans. Invisible Woman is the most important part of Fantastic Four because they go from a really good team to an incredible team with her presence. So basically, when you're building these characters up, you're helping build up multiple really meta teams. Now, I suppose if you're talking Tech Wing, you have Shuri, MINN-ERVA as well, and you have Ultron as well. And then it's Falcon and Scientist Supreme. I don't like that as much. Falcon is obviously a very important character on the Power Armor team, but I think that's a full team effort. And a lot of what's really good about Falcon, you don't need the massive stats for, so you can use the resources maybe a bit more efficiently. And Scientist Supreme, I guess a bit the same, because while she is great, and if she's massive health, it does help. Even at the not the biggest health, her status effects, if they stick, that's causing the biggest issue. And another thing to consider is her status effects are going to affect your team, and you're not always going to have the Falcon special ready to be able to flip the buffs back, and her ability energy counter is still not perfect, so she won't always be able to flip the negative effects she puts on her own team. And if you get the wrong negative effects on the wrong people, you can really, really put your team in danger. And I'd rather not put my team in danger, especially in Ultimus 7, because if something goes a little wrong, everything can fall apart. So for me, this team is the safest team you can use. I have a formula down, and eventually I'm going to go over it when I do more raids, and I'm going to try and help you guys learn my formula in my lane of how I do it every single time. I will probably spend like 50, maybe 100 power cores just for energy for the video, just to show you that it can keep working. But I will show you how I reliably take down 6-7 nodes in Ultimus 7 every time without heals with this team that I use. To me, it's just very safe. Yeah, I'll be back with some gameplay just showing off how I use the team. I know I kind of explained it, but I'm a huge fan of this team, and I'm hoping this is helping already. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're liking this so far, and I'll be back with some gameplay, which you will see right after this. Okay, so I'm going to show off my team here. Okay, apparently just going to bump into a bag of chocolate. That's fine. I'm going to use it on Blitz actually here. I'm going to just go through, and apparently I'm just going to refresh a couple of characters here so I'm able to do this. But start off with Ultron, then get Shuri here, then we're going to have MINN-ERVA somewhere, then Invisible Woman and Groot. By the way, just fun fact, you can see a 6-star Wolverine, a 6 red star Wolverine, and my 7 red star Kree Noble. My Kree Noble is not very built up, but it looks like it is because of that red stars. Pretty fun. Yeah, I'm just going to run this team on Blitz here. It is the highest here of Blitz. Yeah, I'm just going to look through the teams real quick. Defenders are 74, 78, 77. I'm going to try this on the defenders. Haven't actually tried it. Might not be the best idea. Let's not. Let's use this. Do it on this team. Just in case the Punisher ult immediately kills all the Ultron summons, that would just be annoying. So I'm just going to run this team here on this other team in Blitz. I'm going to roughly explain how to use the team as I do it, and just show a bit of gameplay so you see roughly how it goes. Let's get into it. Okay, because this is on Blitz, there's no time limit. I can keep it on ×2. So this is how it's going to start this team. You use this special right here. You've got defense up on everyone, and you've already got ability energy coming back. Alright, so now, unfortunately, they cleanse the defense up from Invisible Woman. Those defense downs are extended. It's a lot of defense down stacks. But then you have this barrier here from Invisible Woman, which by the looks of it was over 30,000 on each character. All of those bleeds were resisted because we are punching up a lot here. But we got the summon in, now we can start speeding up, getting some turn meter into Ultron. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try and target Yondu because he has defense up. And Ultron's ult does double damage against defense up. So it's a good way of dealing with it, and there's no more Yondu. Now we have Groot here who's going to defense up and death proof, getting even more buffs on Ultron and keeping the team just more survivable. I'm going to heal here. I was actually hoping just to clear the defense down from Shuri, but didn't target herself, and not like any of her other moves do so much. Now I use this basic. I try and avoid that special at all costs, unless it's like a saving situation, like something went wrong and I need to save MINN-ERVA because she's really low in health. Okay, so now we can just add some more turn meter here to Ultron, get him a couple more buffs. Let's spread some defense up and some energy again. And hopefully this hits. No more Spider-Man. work on Wolverine here. There we go. Just take some turn meter away. Go with this basic right here. And might as well attack. He has offense up, and Groot can do a decent amount of damage. There we go. Wolverine's down. Now let's work on this Scarlet Witch, who is 90,000 power, roughly. Might as well just use this basic. Slowly and surely we'll take her down. Alright, she spreads the health and adds deflect. Might as well do this. It's blocked, but it's like 88,000 damage after being blocked, and is enough to take down that Scarlet Witch. Now I know this wasn't the most put together team, but I didn't want to bother with the defenders just in case, but I wanted to show you guys a easy, not an easy win, but a win here. Highest tier of Blitz to kind of give a few feel for the team. And I'm going to do one more battle for you guys, and that should wrap up the video. So let's get into it. Okay, so the defenders are still an option. Brotherhood and Mr. Sinister is an option. I'm not feeling that. Or the Avengers. I'm going to try the defenders. My biggest concern is that is a massive Punisher, and he might just kill the summons right away. But let's see what happens. Alright, here we are. So I'm going to start by doing this defense up. Take a big chunk of damage there from Daredevil, who Jessica Jones goes after Invisible Woman, who's going to be able to put Barrier up, which might be enough to save those summons. I'm not positive. I'm going to work on Punisher first. Why not? Okay, so some of the summons survived, but not all of them. So I didn't play this ideally. Obviously, Punisher's not more important than Iron Fist, but I don't like taking that type of damage. So a lot of what I do right now, I'm doing in this Blitz battle, is just saving myself from damage. While if I was running this in Raid, weird because they're just so big and you aren't going to be able to punch through people quick enough, I often have to go straight at the tanks unless there's really an emergency person. Like if a Miss Marvel drops down, I instantly go for her. And I do things like that, which is not normally how I play, but it's what how I'm having to run it on Ultimus 7. I think I said 6 earlier. I meant 7. Yeah, so you see that even though I took a big chunk of damage right away, I did manage to kind of bring it back enough that I'm sustaining and I'm getting back up higher health, and I'm in a good defensive position, and I've already taken out their biggest offensive threat. So it's kind of becoming who will survive better between the defenders and my team. And you can still get ruined at this point, I suppose, due to Iron Fist. It's passive proccing too many times, just healing fully back up to health. But I think we should be fine. Eventually I'm going to get some more Ultron summons here, and they won't have a Punisher ult to kill them. See, that situation actually was a situation where it kind of makes sense to use the special and hide MINN-ERVA, but I don't find it too necessary at this point, because I knew the summons was coming along right here. Alright, now let's start getting some more buffs on my Ultron. And he's going to just clear the death proof here. Had that heal block. It sticks, actually. Good job there, Shuri. So if he does get to the turn, those regens will not apply. And I just did a really big chunk of damage into him. So he is actually pretty vulnerable right now. In an ideal world, I would just be able to start attacking Iron Fist because he is guaranteed to die when his turn happens, unless Iron Fist heals him, so I guess that works just as well. But now I can go on Iron Fist. Here we are. Once Iron Fist is down, there's no competition in this team the defenders can throw against my team, because they're not going to be healing anymore, and it's just, will Jessica Jones and Daredevil be able to kill my entire team before I kill them? And that's going to be a clear, obviously not. Let's get the defense up and death proofs back on everyone that doesn't have it. Work on JJ because I don't like when she steals my buffs, or clears them at least. So there we go. So you can see even right now, it's not the fastest team. I'm not playing it at a high pace either. I'm trying to talk it through. But you can see my team is surviving quite well. Here we go. Finish them off, healing back up. And even if you don't look like you're doing great on health in this, I'm just going to play this as if it's a raid node and get my Ultron back up higher. As the node gets to the end, you take a lot of turns and the enemy doesn't take many. So you're able to get a lot of health back pretty quick. Because you do have a lot of healing, and you can get that SHURI heal in. You can get a MINN-ERVA heal in if you need it. And honestly, a basic doesn't normally just kill a person right out, so this probably would have lasted a bit longer. But you could see there was tons and tons of death proof already on my Ultron, which means there was tons of it on my MINN-ERVA. I couldn't quite see that in time. But yeah, there you go. So that is my Ultimus 7 team. Please let me know any names you can come up with for it down in the comments or in my Discord. There's a link to my Discord in the video description, next to a few other links, which are great ways to help support the channel. But the biggest, most important way you can support the channel is to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and share these videos. It makes a huge difference, and I'm very thankful, and very, very thankful for anyone that actually does choose to support me in a different way. You can check those out if you're interested. Again, makes a huge difference too. But anyways, I'm very thankful for you guys, everything you do. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps you come up with your own plans. And I think one thing I do like about Ultimus 7 is, yeah, there's the tech wing, but you do have to think this right through, and there's a lot of ways you can do it, and it does bring a bit of individuality back into your playing, and I think that's fun. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'm here to help.